Hi everyone, it's Marcy here with Creators Call. We're going to be working some more in this journal today. This is the one that we were working on 2 weeks ago. And then last week I inserted a pre-recorded video where I showed how I made some of the ephemera for this journal. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun doing it, and it was kind of a fun one to surprise you with further down the road. I did some work in this journal off camera, and I will show you here in just a couple minutes what it is that I've been doing. But then I've got a few more ideas, and I thought we would just work on them a little bit together today. First thing I did was I went through and I inked a lot of the pages. I just think it added to the character, and I'm kind of wanting a little bit more of a grungy, earthy feel. Now this one I had turned with the blue side out, and I just decided a few minutes ago to turn it the other way because I think the colors, I have the stenciled image, I just think that looks better against these two, against the two covers. And then the blue I think works better with what's on the inside pages. So I did that. But as you can see, I've done, well, no, you can't see because I'm not there yet. Did some inking on the pages. Actually, I think we did that one on camera last week. I trimmed down some of these that were a little bit tall. I did some extra stenciling. I got my new stencils in that I had ordered. So I also placed some ephemera and stuff, and I have an idea for what to do here. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to kind of go through it and work a little bit at a time until the timer runs out and see how far we get. And then also last week, or 2 weeks ago, I was talking about maybe adding some lined paper and doing speckles in some spots. Well, then I remembered I have this speckle stamp, so we're going to do a little bit of stamping as we flip through and get to that one spot. So I think that's going to add just the perfect little accent to it. So yeah, we got lots of little things to work on today. Don't know that I would get to doing the spine today, and I did have one person ask to see it on camera or to recommend that I just refresh everyone's memory, and we'll see if we get to that point in another video. I don't know why. I'm just like, I don't want to worry about it. Partly because see how wide this is getting. I wanted to have a lot of the pieces already in place in here, and so that will help me to figure out how wide to make the spine. Usually I try to make the spine and I just make an educated guess, and then, you know, the journal gets too fat and then you have, it's all so wide at the mouth and too narrow here. So what I'm wanting to do is kind of get a final idea of how wide this is going to be. I was hoping it was only going to be like 1.5 inches, but I'm afraid that after all the stuff is added, it may end up being a couple inches, because look how wide the mouth is already. I don't want it to be a tome. It's not what we're about. I do like how it's all coming together, and I like just the flow as I've looked through the pages. It feels like everything works together and is cohesive. So, all right. So if you guys want to craft along, grab your stuff, or if you want to get comfy and just watch, that's great. Grab your drink and your comfy chair, and we'll be right back in just a moment to work in here. Right, welcome back. So the first thing I wanted to work on was this page here. I don't know that you're going to remember for sure, but this when I last kind of showed you what was in here and how the pages were looking, this page here had a bunch of stuff on the back I didn't like. So what I wound up doing was backing it with some coffee dyed paper that I've made. And then I went around it with kind of a messy stitch, which is not easy to do when you're trying to be messy. I don't know. Since I grew up sewing straight lines, it's hard for me to go messy and crazy. I do think it turned out really cute. And one of the other things I wanted to do was maybe to add some speckles to this page. This card right here is going to be a belly band, and then it's going to fold out for lots of hidden journaling space. So we'll glue that in a minute. Okay, let's grab the stamp really quick. I bought that set because I don't have very many mushroom stamps, and I'm trying to learn to appreciate mushrooms, but also for the speckles. It's the Tim Holtz Tiny Toadstools. Ooh, can't say that 10 times fast. But the speckles are a really fun little accent. There's one. Ooh, look at that. Let's see. I don't want it to look all samey, but I did put it on a block, so just do a couple more right there. There we go. Very cute. I like this color, this coffee color of the archival ink. I think it's just the perfect brown. All right, so my idea for here was to put a fabric flip, and I had a few pieces of fabric and this piece of burlap, and I think I just want to kind of layer them up. So what I did with the burlap, because it's such a wide open weave and very loose, you know, it's just going to keep fraying, I went ahead and went around it with a zigzag stitch, which is what, you know, it's the purpose of the zigzag stitch, is to keep things from fraying. So hopefully that will work as I intended it to. I pre-measured it and cut it to size so we didn't have to fiddle with that on camera. But also up here, I think it would be really nice to have a way to kind of put it all together, or to have some kind of backing that it leans on, or, you know, just kind of keeps it stable. And so I have this trim, and it looks very rough as well. But I thought maybe I would start by just gluing this to this back, and then I think that will help when I go to glue it to the page. I think it'll just give it something to grab and it'll look a little nicer. And then my idea is to just layer up the fabrics and glue them down. And then after I've done that, then lay the whole piece into the journal. And luckily, this trim is the exact same color as that burlap. I am feeling some glue seeping through already, so let's lay that on here, and hopefully we won't glue it to the paper. That would make us sad, wouldn't it? So we're still having warm temperatures. It was cool for a couple, 3 days. You know, my kids were just here for the week. My daughter was planning on visiting, and then my son-in-law, his grandma passed away, so her service wound up being scheduled also for this week. So he came at the tail end of her visit. Anyway, they just left. Today is Thursday, and they just left on Tuesday. So I kind of crashed. I had all these great plans. I'm like, oh, I have 2 whole days to do nothing but work on this journal and film, and I just kind of died. I don't know. I've been very lazy, I guess. Not lazy exactly. I mean, I've done other stuff. I just didn't come in here and work on this. I don't know why. It's kind of weird avoidance mentality. Okay, there's that. Let's see. But yeah, so I got a little rejuvenated tonight and came in and worked on inking the pages, and tomorrow I'm going to go back over to my daughter number 2 and help her in her classroom, the library, a little bit tomorrow. So that'll be nice. But I did work, I had a long list of things I want to get accomplished over the week and the weekend, and I kind of did some of them out of order, so that means I didn't really do what I was supposed to do yesterday and today, but I did some of the other stuff. It's just kind of an avoidance thing. Okay, let's figure out how do we want this to look. I want all the roughness and the texture and everything. Let's scoot this down just an eensy bit. I know this bottom part is off camera, but I want to see it. And I'm also still getting used to the space, like where the camera is, and my reduced table depth, so I don't get my head in the shot all the time. Because nobody wants to see my roots. There we go. see. So I could take this back to the sewing machine and just sew across the top, but I think I'm just gonna glue. I really like all these dark colors. And then what I would like to put across the top, I think, is this button trim. Hopefully it's not too bulky. I wanted to put it on a couple of pages too, but it might be too thick. Too thick. I like it. That's what I like about it, is how chunky it is. And I don't really want to do crochet trim over crochet lace, and I don't have a lot of other options except for this. I don't want that on top. I think I'm gonna do it. I don't think the heavens will come crashing down or anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that won't happen. So we're gonna do it and hope we like it. There we go. I need to trim that up a little bit more. Trying to see if I have anything else I could run across the top. I don't think I do. Looking in my little basket of tricks over here. I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, I don't want to waste time. So we'll just keep moving forward. I mean, I could do this one again, I suppose. But see, again, I have that crochet over the crochet, and I just think that's like putting a rug over a rug. Which I know is done sometimes, but I don't think it looks good in this instance. Okay, so buttons it is. And do I want them to go all the way across, or just part of the way across? I think I want it to kind of be framed out right here and here, kind of in between. So I'm going to cut it right there. And then of course it has this little extra end there, so I'll cut that off. And that is how it's going to look. So let's start gluing. But yeah, typically when I do a fabric flip, I lay all the pieces together and sew them along the top edge so that it all holds together. But I don't think when you're gluing it to a page, I mean, you can just lay them down and glue them. I think that's just fine. Yeah, I was just trying to really get the feel of the roughness of the stable and the hay and the baby, sweet baby, and you know, the homespun, the coarseness, like the fabrics were a little rough and the, you know, things were handmade, hand woven. Should I make that a little shorter? I will. I'm gonna make that just a little bit shorter. Yeah. Yep. And I don't need it all the way across, I just need it across this part. Yeah, so I'm just feeling the season, you know, the end of summer is, well, summer's ended, but the season is winding down. The year is winding down, fall. It's not, we're actually going to be having temperatures in the high 70s, low 80s. So it's not really in a big rush to leave us. Yeah, I like that. So this is definitely going to be thick, chunky journal. I should have probably written down all the stuff I wanted to tell you because I've had it in my mind and then now I don't. I want this scooted over a bit more. A little bit more. Now these are the same length, so that's not okay. All right. I don't want to cut this right in the middle. maybe what I should do is just cut another one that's a little bit shorter. Only because I just, I want those little star thingies to be complete, you know, the whole thing. This will probably fray like nobody's business. There we go. My crock pot died the other day. That's my big news. I don't know. Luckily, it decided it's the liner and it broke. It split, but luckily, look at that. It's kind of like right back in the same place where I thought I didn't want it. Okay. I had just made pork carnitas for dinner, and you know, everything was cooked and everything, so I went to wash it, and then when it was sitting there drying, I realized that there was a big crack across the bottom and up the side, and I was like, uh-oh. So happily, that did not happen while it was cooking, or we would have had a mess everywhere inside the crock pot. So I'm buying a new one. The actual base still works, and of course, you know, to buy just the liner, if you can find it, is expensive to ship. The liner's not that much, but they're so heavy. The shipping is astronomical. So I just decided to buy a new one, and actually had the one I was looking at. It was cheaper on Walmart.com. It was on sale, and it was not on sale on Amazon. So I kind of wanted to just replace the one I have because it's programmable and I like it. It's got switches to warm when the food is cooked and can go up to 10 hours. Anyway, I like it. It's a Hamilton Beach. So the new one has a little bit more updated, and it's got a gizmo on top that locks the lid to the handle so that when you're carrying it places, it's called the Stay or Go. And you can lock the lid in place when you're traveling. And then I bought a bag, an insulated bag that is made for that brand. And so yeah, because we're gonna have a chili feed at church in a couple weeks, and gotta have a way to cart the chili. Okay, let's see what we think about this. Anyway, so that's my big news. Kids left, crock pot broke. I'm tired, and I got a new crock pot. So there you go. That's all the news from Lake Wobegon. Here we go. Is that going to interfere? Boy, I almost feel like I should wait until it's sewn in to glue this down because of stitching. It is hard to fiddle with these things when you're gluing, when you're stitching in your signatures. It kind of gets in the way. I think that's going to look good though. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of clip it right now and actually do the final gluing when I sew it in. But I can glue this one too right now. And does it need any more dots? It might. I really like how the green and this green picked up. There's a little bit of gold in there. I could almost do gold speckles, but I don't know that my gold stamp pad is very good. It's kind of gloppy. Let's do that. And a little bit right there. And we'll just stamp it off right there. Good. No one's gonna see that, but now my stamp is clean. Okay, yeah, it needed that. Okay, so here we go. Probably should use the art glitter glue, but the fabric glue is handier. So what I need to do, I'm gonna get this in place on the top because this card is just a little bit longer than this page. And so I wanna get this in place up here and then glue it down here. Actually, it's good that I'm using the fabric glue because I have this stitching that I'm trying to glue to. Let's see, make sure that's straight. Boy, I decided to turn on the camera and it's like I ran out of juice. Low energy. Sorry, I assure you, I was very, very amped up right before this. It's honestly, it's the lack of sunlight. We're down to 12 hours a day from 16, and I feel it this time of year, every year. By the time we get to Halloween, I'm dead. And it's too bad because I had a whole bunch of energy 2 weeks ago. I know it's because of the sunshine. Like it builds up over the summer and then I get going and then all of a sudden I peter out because the sun goes away. All right. Craft lamps help though. They've got the sunshine ingredient. Yeah, that'll just stick out over the edge. I think that'll be cute. But it does make me wonder if I should put something here. We're gonna have to ponder that. Maybe when I get it all put together, that will help me decide. I had this pom-pom trim that I thought I wanted to use in here, but I haven't identified a spot for it yet, so maybe not. Okay, I think that's gonna stick okay without being clipped. There we go. I guess it's sticking out over the top, isn't it? Well, it's just gonna do that. And what I can do is just throw a little ink up there so it blends in from the back side. That's good. I don't want it to be inked on the front of the card. It doesn't need it. But, okay, put that in there. Hooray! Gosh, I feel like I probably took all my time just doing that. That's ridiculous. I also put my timer for a shorter amount of time, so that's part of why it looks like we're running out of time. Okay. So there is another spot where I wanted to use burlap. Let's see, I should have probably put a sticky note there. See, like this music we put in last week? I inked last time, or 2 weeks ago, anyway, when we last worked in here. Yeah, I went and had it and inked all around the edges, and I hope you guys like it. I like it. Okay, so here's that ephemera we worked on in last week's video. Yeah, okay. And I know that I had said I was going to use it as a pocket like this, and I had thought from watching that video, maybe I could still trim it down one side a little bit, make it fit, but it's just too wide. So I am going to put it in from the side, and I think I'm only going to have this part be the pocket. I could glue it down to put something behind and something behind the window, but there's also going to be something here. So since the back of it is shorter because of the way I did the flap, I'm just going to glue the whole thing down on the back here, and then hopefully this won't create a problem sliding in and out over that lip because it's shorter than the front. I suppose I could have just trimmed it off, but it runs into the window, so. All right. I wanted to do something to this page in the background, but I don't know what. And I feel like the speckles might be a little redundant because I have a couple other spots where I want to put them, so. For now, it just stays like that. Now there's a little bit of a speckle in the paper itself, so need to take that off. And we can make sure it lays flat. It's just going to go in the middle of the page. And then this one is going to go here. I had it clipped on the inside, but let's see. Let's give it a gander. Yeah. Yes, I think that'll be okay. I have a plan for this side back here. And I think with this going on, having the ephemera, well, also I think what it was this opens from that side, so that won't, it needs to be on this side of the page. So, sticking with plan A. Let's get that over. And then this is where I wanted to put button trim down the edge. And now, I mean, it is so thick, I don't know. Maybe that's where I should put the pom-poms. Right here. Okay, so again, this has a pocket here. It's gonna have a pocket here. I can glue it on to slide something in from the side or to go in from the top. Maybe I'm going this way. Okay, let's do it from the top. I have no idea what that will be yet, but I'm sure we can come up with something. And I'm gonna run my glue up a little bit higher along the bottom. Oops, I don't want that. So it doesn't have as far to go down in there. That way I don't have to make a super long tag, you know? Thinking ahead, thinking ahead. Okay. So about 1 inch from the bottom is gonna be glued in place. I feel like my words have run away all of a sudden. I haven't really been talking to very many people since my kids left. So, lost all my social skills in 2 days. You know what I did not get? It was a, something to wipe my hands on. I was gonna really wish I had that in a minute. Okay. So is this gonna be, or is this attached to itself? It's okay. Just wondering if this will be too much. It's only gonna have 4 pom-poms on it. I mean, I think it's just something kind of fun. Will they get in the way over here? This is not very thick paper either, so gluing heavy things to it is probably not very safe. Okay, so I don't know if I want button trim, but I probably still want something there. Even a paper trim would do. Okay, so moving right along. I had those all lined up. Now I've just rearranged. Just got them all out of order. Not out of order, but the height, you know, they're not in the right spot anymore. Okay, so see how I inked this whole page in here? I love it. I love how it picks up the red over here. I don't think I want to do anything to this other than I may end up adding like a little sticker or a little embellishment or something. And okay, so here, this page. Ah yes, so much going on over here. All right, so I was telling you guys last time after we got it all put together and inked up that I wanted something behind it to make it stand out. And so I just thought another piece of this burlap might work just to cover the back. Or, because now I'm seeing it, I could maybe use some of this green, but it doesn't, it's not as wide. Oh, it's gonna clash. Nope, 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 nope. Burlap it is. I wanted kind of that frayed look anyway, so. The look of like if you were to put cheesecloth behind it or something wispy, but I think repeating the burlap element is a good way to go. And how much do we need? We can let it hang off the bottom and we could let it hang off the top. So this is essentially how I measured it last time for the fabric foot. And I'm keeping in mind that there will be fringe. You know, I'm gonna fringe it. Oh, so This one, I won't go around with the sewing, and I don't think it'll be necessary. Well, it might. I didn't think about how I might want to sew around it. It's not going to get lifted up. It's only going to be, it's just going to be completely glued, pretty much. So at a certain point, it can only fray so far because the glue will stop it. I think I'm gonna just not sew it because I don't want to drag the sewing machine up here and stop the video to do all that. Look at how easy this is. This came in something that I bought at a thrift store, and it was just in the bag. And this is truly my only piece of burlap, other than maybe some burlap trim, you know, that like from the Dollar Tree. But I'll just trim that one off. What is that? You guys call it? I think this is called something else in the UK. I can't remember. What do you guys call this stuff? The pioneers called it burlap. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm imagining that. I know they call muslin, or plain white muslin, is called calico. I think that's right. Like in Australia and the UK and stuff, but we call it muslin because calico here has a small, tiny floral print. So, okay, so what we're gonna do is get this one out again. And I don't want to go wider than this. Otherwise, I'll just have glue gooping out everywhere. So, I think I'll glue this to this. And then glue it to the page. You know, I talked 2 weeks ago about a cute little journal I just put together, and I was going to try to do a flip through at the end. I didn't get time. So now I don't know how or when I'm going to do that. Super cute. I wanted to put it in the shop. Oh, and a reminder that there is yet still a sale going on in the Etsy shop, and we're transitioning over to Ko-fi. So there are things in my Ko-fi shop as well. Everything's linked below. Go check them out. I want to thank those of you who have gone to check them out, so I appreciate that. You guys are great. And just really wanting to get all that music and stuff. If you're looking for music, I've got lots of music. If you're not looking for music, why not? A lot of it's really old, so really would hate to see it go in the trash. I mean, I don't want to be like the person who just stored it for 4 years, delaying the inevitable. But unfortunately, I got it listed at a time when people kind of stopped looking for music, so I don't know. Do we wait out the trend? I don't understand why either. Like, why wouldn't you be looking for music? What are you using instead? So if you want real music sheets and not printables, and not printables even, I'm not so worried about printables, but you know, you can buy those packs on Amazon and stuff, and they say they're music pages, and I'm like, why would I want some mass reproduced copy of a piece of music when you could just have music? It's not even that expensive. Anyway, I digress. Okay. So there's that. Boy, yeah, this is gonna have a lot of weight to it. Okay, so I thought on this one, this is another vintage Christmas card. And I did kind of think about hinging it like this, but I don't really want him to be the focus. So I'm gonna just put it here and make it so you can slide in something from the side, and then you can open it. And you know what I didn't do? I did not ink. So let's see, this is gonna be here. Do I want like some red in there? I think I do. I think I do. I need to put the lid on the glue for a sec. There we go. I could do some brown too, but there's so much brown all around it that I think it would just be too dark and grungy. I want some grungy, but not all grungy. Then it just gets depressing. So is anybody getting fall weather where they are? Or do you have leaves falling off your trees yet? Our leaves are turning gold, but a few are falling. They like to fall on my patio cushions and make messes, because then we had 2 days of rain, so I got a big leafy yucky mess on my cushions, and then it kind of stains them. It does its own eco-dyeing on my patio cushions. Not really where I want it. So not too many have fallen off, but by the time we get to the end of the month, pretty much most of them will be gone. And we have a tree in the backyard we really need to take out, but I don't know how I'm paying for that. But it would be nice to have it gone before all the leaves fall off of it. Save ourselves a little bit of raking. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's probably wishful thinking. Yeah, just tell me what you're doing. Are you amping up for fall? Amping up for Halloween? Anybody of you, are any of you like big Halloween people? I was okay when I was just like a kid going trick-or-treating, that's fine, but as I've gotten older, I don't know, it's such a garish, the decorations and everything are just ugly, and I'm not into the whole spookiness and scaring each other and all the dark side of it. Just don't enjoy that, and I just feel like it's weird. I feel like it's weird everywhere. So do I want something under here? That's what I can't decide. I feel like this fades into this, but I don't know what to put. Should I put music? So right here, I did a whole section where I tried different pages, music, Bible page, some different stuff. After several minutes of deliberating, I decided to scrap the whole idea. So I'm cutting that part out of the video, and we'll move forward from here. Okay, so let's find that page I want. We did this, I wanted to add some speckle stamp there. I used my stencil, and it's got kind of a, it's a little more blurry and stuff, but it's not as precise as when you use that on top. See? So I needed a little more speckles in with the stencils. There we go. That looks good. And then on this side, I don't know why I'm turning it over. That made no difference. Okay, and this is the other side where I was gonna maybe put lined paper, but then I was going through my stuff and I remembered that I had this cool looking page, and I know it's very Art Deco looking, but somehow it works. So that's what we're gonna use. But first, we're going to ink it up with red right after I find my red again. And then we're gonna speckle it, and then we're gonna lay it down. So I don't know why it is that Art Deco lettering works so well. Actually, we should probably we wanted to tear something a little bit, didn't we? We wanted it to look a little more beat up, like these are your plans for the week. Christmas week, maybe. Like, where are you gonna go? That week between Christmas and New Year's. Does it want another color? Do I want to add some brown to that? Let's put the speckles on and decide. Oops, dropping my stamp. Well, it would be best. There we go. Ooh, that just kind of made a little mess, didn't it? There's that. And down here. Cool. Kind of covered up Wednesday, didn't it? Does it want some green around it or some brown? I agree, it should be brown. So I'm using the vintage photo. I like to ink with two colors a lot. I don't know why, it just really is cool because both colors show through on the edges and pick up different things. And see? This needs, where's my page? Needs a little speckle over here. Oh, that didn't show up. Now it does. Okay. Actually, that's going to line up very nicely with that one. So I got speckles and poinsettias and shepherds and just one big, big happy mess. But I think part of why it works is because of the color on this paper is a dark, dull ivory, and so it wasn't, you know, it's more to the brown tones. My lined paper was gonna just look too new, I think, and this somehow looks old, so that's what we're doing. I don't know, I liked it, so we're going with it. Okay, straight, making sure everybody is straight. Not sure this book page is on there straight, if truth be told. Ah, don't fall down yet. Was there a loud car noise just now? I had my window open and I'm so busy talking to you guys and making stuff, I didn't pay attention. Look it, isn't that cute? And you open it and then there's room to write what you're gonna do. I like it. Yep. Okay. Glad we got that squared away. And, because that was one of the other places I wanted to do speckles. Let's see. Going back over here. Okay, on this one, this was a card. I went ahead and sewed around it, and actually what I do need to do is ink, because when you sew, the stitching, you know, goes through the card and pulls the white, makes the white show. So we're just gonna ink over that part. I did smush it down with my bone folder and kind of flattened it, but you can go over it with ink. And maybe I want the walnut stain because this is not covering it super great. Let's try walnut stain. Oh, wait, no, frayed burlap is not the right color. I got it out, but I never feel like it really quite has a color. But it was one of the first ones I bought, and I think it was always has been dried out, and I ink up the pad and it doesn't. See, frayed burlap. It just never, it always feels like it's so thirsty, but it never really shows the ink. But you know, I was using that pumice stone, and it doesn't show up very well on the paper either. So I switched to weathered wood because it was the gray and it was showing up. So I don't know what I'm going to do with pumice stone. Okay, so see how that kind of helped blend in? There's still a white spot right there. Come on. It just helps blend in the little paper bits that poke through when you stitch. There, now it blends in and it gives it that texture, but without being ugly. Now see, it didn't matter on this side because it was fabric. I had it covered with fabric right there. And so I love these little birds. They're so stinking cute. And I think the colors, again, are in the right idea. Now, this one was one I made, I think, at the beginning of the year or late last year. Anyway, so I made it specifically to go in this journal, and then it never got made. So it was probably like a year ago that I did these. They were called Super Easy Pockets or something. So things will tuck in back here and into the doily. You can do it like this, but because again, the size of the page is not that big, you can also do it like this. I will try to remember to link that video where you all can go watch it. So up in the cards, down in the description box at the end of the movie. Yeah. I'm going over this because that little piece right there just needed to stand out a little more. In fact, these could all stand out a little more. I think what it was I didn't know what color ink I would be using in the future, so I didn't pick one. That was silly. Okay, so I just covered the back of the card with the pretty fabric. There are little tiny bits of gold. There's these little gold stars. You can't really see the birds, but you can see the pears. You can see the holly berries. You can see his little feet. And then I'm just going to glue this down so it's a pocket back here, and then you tuck things in here. So that's the plan. We're going to use fabric tack again. Since we're gluing to fabric. Now, of course, when you put all these pockets and things and tucks in your journal, you have to get stuff to fill them up. You have to make stuff. Some stuff is already made. I've already set aside some things. But, you know, never seems to be quite enough, you know. Okay, so that's going to be a pocket there. Oh yeah, that looks good. And then that just slides over this. So I've got the gray and the gray of the paper. And this is a music page. This came out of that Ideals magazine. It's a nice color. Okay, so now we're back to over here. Just gonna wait on you guys. Just not sure about you right now. Love this shade of blue. Okay, so over here is one of the other things I wanted to do. So scoot that there, scoot this. Okay. The way this is gonna go is this card actually needs to go here. Now my original intention was that it would flip open. I would have this inked around. You could see this. However, this is wider than the page and I want to trim it down. But really my ultimate idea was to use this as a pocket right here. So I think what I'm going to do, like it or not, is I'm going to trim it and just leave this part as the pocket and then make it a little bit narrower. Oops. I might need to use my trimmer. Hold on. All right, so I trimmed right down the angel's wing. And I'm gonna have to trim part of the manger as well. And I want to trim it at the same angle, which I can do actually. I can trace that. Maybe I should do this from the back side. Let's see, okay. And then I'm gonna take my corner rounder, hopefully. There we go, and trim that. And then, oh, there we go. And I'm gonna make that round. Mainly because I had already punched a corner, not thinking, and this is going to fit down here, so the round shape will help it fit better. You know, it'll just fit on the page better. So that's what we have, and we want to avoid right here, basically, not gluing there. Let's make sure. So I'm gluing along the edge. Yeah, see, I don't want to get glue where it's going to come through the holes. I actually need it just an eensy bit higher. There. Have a lot going on right here. I really like that red. Okay, so you're going here. Right, okay. That's very close. I think I need to trim some more wing. Sorry, little angel. I'm gonna trim your wings. That's where it's easiest to take stuff off. Okay, now I've lost my mark. Right? Okay. All right. I'll stop a little bit above that. Okay. But I love pockets that have interesting shapes. I love taking book pages or cards or things like that and making interesting shaped pockets. Okay. Once it's down, it's down. Where's my glue page? Let's see. Oh yeah, and then that just makes a little, makes like a little decoration around the curve. Okay. Oh. Ah, why do I not have a paper towel? This is not the one I want to use, but I'll use it because it's here. The glue is oozing out. Aww. That's my last one of those cards too, I think. Found those at a thrift store and I love them. Love them. Okay, so there's that. Did I do that right? Yeah. Sorry, I had to think about that because this one is going, okay, yes, okay. Just gotta make sure I have it in order. I knew the blue page was picking up the blue there, okay. But it's gonna lay on the red page. Okay, so what we're doing here, this is another Christmas card from sometime. And I cut the front off. I love all of the glitter and the flowers and what it says. Take a screenshot and read it. And then what I wanted was to have it flip out. And maybe put a pocket on the back as per my note. What would my pocket be? That's a good question because where is all my ephemera? I put it somewhere. This is ephemera. This is not pockets and things. I don't know if I have anything in here that would work for a pocket. Oh, that's what I wanted to sew. I was trying to remember what else I wanted to sew when I had the machine out, and then now I remembered. Okay, so one of the things I did want to use was this page and turn this into a pocket. So can I make it fit? I think we're gonna have to end because we are out of time. Now I'm gonna keep working on this. I had another little thing. I'll show you the heads up on it. Well, first let me show you what I was gonna do. I was gonna put a pocket on the back. I was gonna put a strip like this, and I want to hinge it on the inside because otherwise it will cover this and it'll interfere. This fabric will compete with what's on the front, so I want to hinge it from the inside with this little strip, which I think is going to look super cool. And then I'm going to back this because this is Bethlehem and turn this into a pocket, and maybe this could even be part of the hinge that helps hold it together. There's a thought. I just thought of that. I'm also going to be using, I have this here, a little snippet, and then I also have a little, in another spot, I'll show you what I want to do, but I'll have to do it off camera. Let's see. On one of my smaller pages, this is another page, came out of this same book. I'm going to use that snippet up there, but I have this window, and if you'll recall, if you were watching me last year, I used the other one that I got. These are from Celeste at Woodland Inspired, and I only had the two, so I'm going to take this window and put this image behind it and back it on the page that is plain, and then you can open it. I'll ink this, but anyway, if you like these, go over to her shop. I'm pretty sure she's got them in there. And you can also watch, see which, trying to remember which journal I did it in last year. It was, well, it was one of the Christmas ones, but it had the nativity story in it. It was blue, and now I can't remember what it was called. But anyway, you could look through the window and see Mary and baby Jesus. So that's the other thing I'm going to be working on. All right, so that's what we have going on, and I'll continue working. I do have a quote for today, and this little thing will probably end up going in the other Christmas journal, which I'm super eager to start. Haven't started it yet. I want to get this one wrapped up. So our quote is by Washington Irving, and it says, "Christmas is the season for kindling the fire of hospitality in the hall, the genial flame of charity in the heart." So we're going to be hospitable, and we're going to be charitable. Share, love, invite people in, invite the stranger, invite people who are out of place. And that is the season, but then you want to remember to carry that with you all year long, right? So that's our thought for today. And until next time, guys, I want you to be inspired, do something creative today. I'll talk to you in the next video, and hopefully I'll have this journal finished. All right, you guys have a good week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.